All right, everybody. Hey, I am here with an Alivea Pro podcast that I'm super excited about because this one, for quite a while, we were thinking was never going to happen. This was one of those, I'll get with your people, you get with me, my people, and we try to figure this out. Like, I don't know how many times, but Samantha, we're here. How are you?
We're here finally. I'm great. It's so great to be here finally.
Oh my goodness. And I love Back to the Walls. I see a bunch of prizes and awards, stuff like that we're going to talk to here in a second. But this one is you've got such a cool story, but I'm going to warn the listeners here. I'm actually kind of nervous about this one. I never get nervous for these things because you said you're going to kind of surprise me in the middle of this. So that is kind of freaking me out. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're the one freaking me out. So I guess it's easy for you. All right. Now you've gone to something's up here. So, all right, let's see how this goes. But first of all, let's just introduce everybody. Kind of your background's really fascinating because you are a sponsored Alivea Pro with this company. You are a professional in the WBFF, which is the World Beauty Fashion and Fitness industry. You're competing, but this isn't like you were you didn't drive this your whole life. This is something that kind of came into your life relatively recently, right? So how do you get into this world?
Yeah, I definitely did not do sports or anything growing up. I was kind of made fun of for my looks growing up. I was told that I was ugly, had a lot to work through with that. And when I got married, my husband and I started running. That was just kind of my intro to fitness.
Wow.
That's really what all it was. And just somewhere in the back of my mind, this little thing kept bugging at me. It would be super cool to have a competition worthy body. That's how I phrased it. And through some random connections, I ended up being introduced to the WBFF and thought it was really cool. For a while, I thought, I don't have the time or the money to do this, but time and place arrived and I decided, you know what? Why not now? Let's do it. So kind of dove in, went and did my first show in 2021. And I just fell in love with it. It was just, the community was amazing. The experience was amazing. The fun of getting all dolled up like that and showing off what you worked for was just so much fun. And I knew that it was something that I wanted to keep doing. So that's kind of how I got involved with that. Yeah.
Let's go back to whoever those people were. Can we fire them or can we vote them off? Because honestly, they are messed up human beings. So, let's start there. But you set up something that was super important because it does have a lifelong impact, right? I mean, it's a really difficult thing. And you use this concept of sport and pushing your body in a way to kind of, it sounds like, to really push back past that. Because, I've known you now for a little bit and I would have never known that part of the story. So what was it like? What did you have to put your body through in the training to get prepared for your first show? And what kind of training are you doing now that you've turned pro in this world?
A lot of strength training because you definitely do need to be building up the muscle. I definitely did not strength train enough as much as I should have before the first show, but I really needed the experience to get me totally committed and like, this is really what I want to do. So when you prep for a show like that, you have to drop as much body fat as you can. And that can be really, really hard on the body, especially on women, because it messes with our hormones. So there was a lot of lessons learned the first show of what not to do, what to do, and I need to learn a lot more. And that's kind of what pushed me towards getting certified and becoming a coach, and that desire to help other people and become a professional in the industry as a whole, because I wanted to help somebody experience the beauty and pride that I was able to experience my first show.
Well, I love the fact too that you didn't follow this path. It wasn't like you're an NCAA athlete or you're a professional athlete and then turn to this. It's like you said, you weren't doing any of this in your life. And it went from, by the way, if somebody's just starting running, just warning, you may end up right? So but that was Like it was pretty simple for you. It was just starting to get healthier and getting into running, and then it kind of inspired to push the body. And I love this concept you talked about. Now all of a sudden you're coaching, because when you first started, and I've talked to other pros in this world that they didn't have a lot of coaching support. So what do you enjoy about the coaching part of it?
Um, I love seeing not just like physical changes in people. I love seeing how it changes your whole life.
Hmm.
And it's done that for me. And I just watched a friend go through her first show, and she battled um, addiction and drugs and stuff like that before. And this has
Right.
completely changed not just her body, but her whole mindset has changed. I'm like, yes, it changes everything. And you think of yourself completely different because you're like, I went through this hard thing. And no matter the result of the show, you won because you stepped on that stage. The
Yeah.
percentage of people who go down that path and don't ever make it to the stage is just huge. It's a very small percentage of people that actually step foot on the stage. And it takes a lot of discipline. And the discipline is followed through even after the show. I'm still definitely strength training like a crazy person because I want to compete again. And I want to bring the next best package I can. I want to beat my last package. And
Hmm.
it's kind of like turned me into much more of a competitive person.
Well, that's actually pretty cool. But I love the word discipline too, right? Because it's very hard to have that commitment and following through with certain things. People want certain things, but to follow through, that's the hard part. So if you can break through and what you learn from that, that can impact every phase of their life. And you're experiencing that because you're impacting your life. But you brought up something about pushing your body. And when doing that, now you're pushing the body in ways that maybe you haven't done before. Maybe we're talking to athletes who have pushed it before. But once you start going to that next level, your body can break down, it can have issues, but you're also wanting to feed it the best food technology possible. So of course you're with Alivea, you're a sponsored pro, you're here with our Alivea Pros podcast, but I'm assuming you didn't just go on Google and Google it. Probably you were introduced to it by somebody. So can you walk us through, how were you introduced to Alivea? And like, why did it catch your attention?
Um, Actually, it's because of the WBFF. I met a woman in the WBFF, Max West, and kind of built a connection with her, but we didn't really talk very much. But I kept seeing this stuff on her social media about like getting rid of bloat. And that's
Mm.
something that when going through like prep for shows, I developed more and more intolerances to foods. And it was just like cutting down what I was able to eat without extreme pain, like bloating and constant discomfort. Long story short, my gut health got super messed up. And she was talking about how she was able to like settle things in the gut. And so finally, I was like, okay, I need to like really, I mean, I'm doing all these healthy things and everybody thinks you're super healthy, but something's wrong with my gut. So I reached out to Max and said, okay, I need to get on whatever this stuff is that you're talking
Wow.
about.
Yeah.
And I need to see if it's going to help because I'm tired of this and things hurt. I don't
Wow.
want to be
So
in
I mean,
pain every day.
and it's interesting because gut health is one of those things that is kind of like becoming in this epidemic world. Like everybody knows that pretty much everything starts in the gut, and it's become such a problem through so many different things. But competing at the high level of sport, it's amazing, and not just your world of the WBFF, but you see it in almost all sports. Like the number of people I hear talk about that gut health. So, you know, talk about how so now you're introduced that product. How did it impact you, and how have the Alivea products impacted you or even other people you've been working with?
So the first thing, I noticed a difference actually within like a day. After my last show, I had this insatiable hunger along with the constant bloating. And it was just like a lot of binge eating and kind of stuff like that was hitting me really hard after that show. And I called Max like a day after I started this or texted her. And I was like, I'm not hungry. Like, what is this? Like, that was a huge deal for me. And so many other things have happened. But um, really, the, the biggest thing,
I feel like,
um,
is this the thing?
you were gonna get there to that. This is the thing. So I mean that my whole reason for starting the food technology was just to get my gut health in order.
Mm-hmm.
But after I went to the Alavea Pros event in February, I learned more about it. And I learned that it could potentially help me with a much deeper, much more personal issue that I had been having. Let's not cry. So my husband and I,
just the two of us.
So my husband and I have been married for 15 years and always wanted children. And it just wasn't happening for a long time. And I kind of gave up. I suspected that I had PCOS. I cramped out an IUD, like just things were not working, and just kind of gave up. Then after my first WBFF show, we kind of said, how can I say I haven't tried if I haven't tried like IVF? So we went down that path. And we did 3 cycles of IVF, got pregnant each time, and had miscarriage each time. So that broke me for a while. And I thought I'd never try again. Then after the last show, something sparked in me, and I said, we'll try it one more time. And we started going through like Chinese medicine, and that's actually right when we started with the food technology, is around this time. And at the Alavea Pros event, people kept saying, you're going to get pregnant and you're going to stay pregnant. And I just became convinced at that event that was going to happen. I called my husband, I called my mom. I said, this is going to happen. I'm going to get pregnant and we're going to stay pregnant. 3 months after I started Alavea, I found out I was pregnant. We were, most people, when they find out they're pregnant, and this time I was pregnant for the first time naturally.
Wow.
And, most people are super excited when they find out, but because of our loss, we both were like, okay, what now? Let's see what's going to happen. Kind of hold your breath. And so we waited until
I'm holding my breath right now.
We waited until we had passed our threshold, the furthest I'd ever made it, before even calling a doctor. And for the first time, we got to see a heartbeat and hear a heartbeat. And fun side note, I do have PCOS. I was diagnosed with PCOS during the IVF journey. And when you get your first ultrasound, they scan your ovaries, and my ovaries were clear. And that's not supposed to happen when you're pregnant. You're supposed to always have PCOS, and they were clear. So that was cool. But we made it through the first trimester, and I am now 17 weeks pregnant with a little girl.
With a little girl. Oh my God. Oh my God. Goosebumps and crying. I was not thinking that was the route that you were going to go. First of all, it's hard to keep all that in. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, first of all, wow, huge congratulations to you and your husband. And I know it's still a journey, and it's just such a wonderful story. And to think that, it's a, what was, because I was with you at that Alavea Pros event. There was a whole bunch of us there, and we were hanging out and talking and chatting and just having a great time. And you don't know what's going on in someone's life. That's what I was really connecting to, because you, to me, was just confident and free spirit on anything. It's like nothing's ever phased you in your life. And then you start to hear, no, these are the real challenges, and these are what you and your husband have faced, or this is what you faced in your life. And it's, to think that you're going to be a coach, how you're going to coach people in life is going to be just unbelievably amazing. So just congratulations. Oh my God. Are you going to name her Craig?
Not quite.
Well, hey, let's save the naming until when baby is here, baby beautiful girl is here. Let's do a follow-up podcast. Can we do that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't even know what I'm going to ask you from this stage on, because that's like more than anything else we could talk about. But how do you link that back to the, because this never happened. All of a sudden now you're taking Alavea products. People kept on saying you're going to get pregnant. What is it that you think happened there?
Well, definitely healed some gut health for sure. A lot of the challenges that happen in a body start in the gut, as we know that. I know that my hormones were off. We don't really know the like full reason why I could not maintain a pregnancy before, but just things finally got in order. There were other things with the PCOS that cleared up that I noticed pretty immediately. Like my ovulation cramps went away. My PMS. Oh man, since my last show, PMS was like I'm a rage person, and I'm not like that. And that went away. And then people with PCOS tend to have extreme cramping around their cycle, and that reduced. And so I was like,
Mm.
okay, hormones are balancing out.
Something's different, right?
Yeah,
Something's different.
something's different. Things are balancing out. I'm feeling better. Not having crazy like panic attacks. I'm not all over the place. And just I could tell that something was changing.
Mm.
And I was able to make it through the most stressful month of my entire career and just be level headed, and just everything just felt like I'm functioning how I'm supposed to now.
Mm.
And the bloating, like that went away. That was such a relief to not be in pain every day.
Oh,
Um,
wow. We are
yeah.
beyond excited, and everybody here watching is going to continue being praying for you and your husband. And I haven't met him, but tell him a huge congratulations from
I will.
Alavea Pro friends over here. But it's interesting because Alavea, and for those that are watching for the first time, and you discovered this along your journey about hearing about the products, because you're first were just interested, how can these products help me, from this other competitor named Max, who we both know, who's amazing. So you were just more concerned about how do I get me better? And then something caught on to this idea of now you're coaching others and wanting to share others. Now you have this epic experience. But every single product that we have through this company called Alavea creates them in the core ingredient is always this Ace Mannan technology, Alavea AE. And in that same, every time we provide a product, we create a matching serving of that same product for children in need around the world. And I think the company just surpassed 61 million servings that are donated to children that are in desperate need. 7 million kids die every year of malnutrition. And we're making this dent. Now you're making this dent. You're making this impact. And as a pro, and now sharing the products with people and sharing this company's mission, what does that mean to you to know that you're sitting with what you just said, but you're also part of this concept of we're growing this movement of nourishing children around the world? I mean, I'm feeling like all emotional on this. How do you feel?
I absolutely emotional, especially since I was told about this movement and what it's just doing around the world with children while still being in a painful moment of trying to heal. That if I couldn't bring a child into the world myself, at least I would want to help others. And it's always just been like children, just I adore children. I love being around them, even if they're crying. And I just like I I had thought about adoption, and when I was told about like the trips to Mexico and things like that, I was just like, I want to go. Maybe we'll go adopt there. Like, I want to see who we're helping. Like, that's just absolutely a passion for me. And that was kind of more of a solidifying, yes, this is a company and product I can get behind, that I would love to say, yes, I say yes, let's go do this, like stamp of approval. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
This is like,
That,
I promote it like crazy, and it's not even just like, oh, I don't even know. It's just, I know how it's helped me, and I just want to make sure that everybody can have an opportunity to get the same in their own way, in their own story, of
well, and
course.
that's the beautiful heart of a mother. That's the beautiful heart of a coach, that want to help others. And you are doing exactly that. This took a radical turn. I did not know this was happening on this podcast. And this is easily my favorite podcast ever now. Maybe it was well worth the wait, Samantha. Maybe this is what we were supposed to wait for. But And by the way, we are putting this out to the world. I'm assuming you've told some people this is okay to tell people.
Yes, it is. Actually, I hesitated scheduling for the first time because I wanted to wait until I could be okay sharing it. But yes, it's okay.
Wow. Well, we are now here. We get to share this with everyone, and let's continue this journey together and follow up and do another one. And I think, there's something special about raising a child where you're already impacting kids around the world, and they're going to learn that process. And it's just such an amazing thing. So, well, congratulations. It was such an honor to hang out with you. I can't wait to see how you're continually doing, and we'll stay in touch, of course. But once your beautiful girl is with you and you're recovered and you guys are both doing well, let's definitely have you on a follow-up podcast. Does that sound like a deal?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Samantha, thank you very much for joining the Elevate Pros podcast. Everybody else, stay tuned. We're going to have some more great Elevate Pros that we'll be interviewing soon, and look forward to seeing everybody shortly.